Hey guys, I've got something really interesting to share with you guys today. If you're a fan of handmade watercolors and you enjoyed that guest stream I did with Kabocha, then you're gonna really enjoy what I'm sharing with you guys today. So Kabocha sent me this adorably packaged envelope. I'm gonna go ahead and open it. I wanted to save it to share it with you guys. And inside should be some of the custom watercolors that we've been discussing. We've got a lot of big plans and some of them do have to wait until we can meet up in person. But, oh, I have a hate-love relationship with these mailers. They're so cute, but they are impossible to get into and impossible to recycle. I do wish somebody would make some really cute mailers out of recycled materials so that we can all have both cute and recycled. All right, are you guys ready? You guys ready to see? Oh, I think there might also be some private correspondence, so I will shuffle that off to the side. So we have two packages that'll be interesting for you guys. We've got this one here, adorably wrapped. And then we've also got some mystery paint spoilers that probably go with this package. Oh, everything's so cute today. Woo! So inside we've got some oh, they smell so good. Hang on. Oh, they smell super good. That must be the preservative oil that Kabocha included. So we have 6 little half pans here. 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to swatch them for you guys and then we'll open our mystery paint spoilers. And since we're dealing with just 6 colors, I'm going to swatch on the Balhang Academy watercolor paper pad. So this is a cotton rag watercolor paper and it should give us a good idea of what we're getting with these colors. So since I have a pretty good idea of what's going on with these watercolors, I'm going to spritz them a little bit to pre-activate them, and I'm going to swatch them the same way I swatch supergranulating colors. Since I'm Boo Boo the Fool and I swatched them all out of order, I went ahead and labeled them for you guys. And we can see from some of them that there's a lot of shimmer in there and it hasn't quite, you can see some of the shimmer, but I haven't quite worked to it. And then some of them have this really gorgeous granulation with the splits going on here and then the splits going on here. And then we have a really beautiful purple, like a geode-esque. I think this was made with Daniel Smith's amethyst with a little bit of gold flake. So you get kind of like a geode-esque effect. So I know you guys are eager to find out what the mystery paints are. And keep in mind, these are handmade paints made by Kabocha. So inside we have our spoilers. So number 1 is Amethyst and Gold Dust. Number 2 down here is Garnet Genuine and Dumont's Blue. Oh, see, I was thinking that split color was a purple, but that's a blue. That's pretty. Then we have Duochrome Violet Fantasy plus Manganese Blue plus Lunar Red Rock plus lunar blue rock. So that's why we're getting some of that really interesting granulation going on. Then number 4 is permanent sap green and PBK 11. Number 5 is Payne's Gray and Dumont's Blue or Smalt, which would explain why we're getting some of that really pretty blue granulation. And then down at the bottom is Rose Madder Genuine plus PBK 11 plus some sparkle. Sparkle right there. So I asked Kabocha to make a set similar to this because I've been doing a lot of stuff with super granulation. I've been doing a lot of stuff with duochromatic and fantasy colors and chameleon colors and sparkle colors. And I knew Kabocha could do it just way better than some of the companies we've been seeing, where we just have these really unimpressive sparkle amounts or really unimpressive color splits. And we've been talking about a few different ways to go about doing these kind of color splits and what kind of colors would give us the most exciting effects. And we've got a lot planned for when we finally get to hang out and play around with paints and try making some of those. But this, I believe, is like a geode or a crystal inspired set, especially that amethyst with that gold. So I wonder if Kabocha has a specific name for these, or if we get to name them. If I got to name them, I would name them geodes, but I believe Kabocha has a different name for these. So if you're interested in handmade paints, whether you're interested in learning how some creators go about making the paints, or if you're interested in learning how to make your own, Kabocha co-starred on one of my watercolor live streams a while back and demonstrated how they make paints. So I'm gonna link that in the cards as well in the description. I hope you guys will check it out. At the time being, Kabocha isn't offering their custom paints for sale yet, but if there's enough interest, she is open to the possibility of a limited run, but these aren't available right now. So if you think these look really cool and you think they would be a great fit in your watercolor palette, you can let us know down in the comments and I'll let you guys know if Kabocha ever changes her mind. And if you guys are interested, Kabocha also makes these really cool Photoshop and Clip Studio paint brushes. You can check those out at shooting-stars.org. Now, of course, I feel like I have to do a field test of some sort with these, but rather than make you guys wait until I figure out what I'm going to do and get it all drawn and get it all painted like with my other super granulating watercolors, I'm going to go ahead and share this with you guys while I allow the ideas to percolate, and maybe I can come up with something really fun or really cool. But I love these color splits. These would be so cool for commissions. They're beautifully subdued with just a little bit of sparkle, so it's almost like adult shoujo rather than like, not that I don't love like candy colors and pastels, I do, but sometimes you want something a little bit more laid back. Let's say the candy colors are fantasy and these kind of colors are magical realism. And if you guys read my comic 7-inch Kara, you guys know I'm a big fan of magical realism. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and helping me swatch these beautiful handmade watercolors. And a huge, huge thanks for Kabocha for mixing these up. They are so cool. So I think my favorites, I'm torn because like every time I look at this, I have a different favorite. I think my favorites currently are number 2, the Garnet Genuine and Dumont's Blue, because we get some really beautiful secondary color, secondary granulation. I'm also really loving the Permanent Sap Green and the PBK 11. It's got this kind of like deep forest thing going on. And of course, I would be remiss not to love the Amethyst and Gold because I feel like that's what kind of inspired this whole watercolor palette. Let me know down in the comments which of these mixes is your favorite mix, as well if there's any interesting mixes. Why is that word so hard to say? As well as any interesting mixes you guys might think I'm snoozing on. I'd love to check them out as well. I've got the Schminke field test in the works, so I am still working on even more super granulation. If that is your jam, I hope you guys will check it out. But I also have some videos where I swatch the Daniel Smith super granulating watercolors as well as the Paul Rubens super granulating watercolors. I am almost finished. In fact, it is just uploading now. The Shiyun set 1 and set 2 from Paul Rubens, those super granulating watercolors. And then I've got a bunch of CA AM Supergranulating watercolor videos that I hope you guys will check out, because these can be so much fun. I mean, y'all saw how much I loved Brusho, right? like Brusho blew my mind when I first discovered it, and when I was doing convention commissions, that was my like go-to for background. So you guys know I love wild color and I love beautiful effects, and these kind of granulating watercolors are a great way to introduce that in a more controlled fashion in your work, which is just really cool. So let me know which of these mixes 1 through 6 is your favorite mix, and I look forward to hanging out with you guys again really soon. Thank you again to Kabocha for sending these to me. These are so much fun, and I can't wait to get to mixing some wild colors with you.